All right, we're in the classroom here. So, what we're going to talk about here, and I'm going to try to explain to the layman how going under center, first in a goal line situation, we use that as the backdrop, but we'll talk about how it really doesn't affect the outcome of the play in terms of how fast it hits, where it hits, as much as you might think coming from the outside. And I get it. I get it. When you're used to seeing something, why don't we just do it this way? Well, because it might not work. And again, it's very different. All right. So we've got the offense here set up in a typical situation here, goal line situation. And we're just going to use this as the beginning. And how running typically what we do, have done in the past, isn't necessarily going to help us in the situation. First and foremost, let's look at the offense right here. And let's look at the defense. When we get in a formation like this, we are essentially declaring it's my guys versus your guys, big on big in the box. Simple, right? So let me ask you the question. Do you trust these 9 guys? We're not including the QB, we're not including the running back. These 9 guys here to block these 11 when everybody and their mother knows that Agent Zero right here is getting the ball. Think about that for a second. Do you trust that situation? And do you think you put that situation 3 times in a row, it hits? Okay? So I'm going to give you that question. Okay? Second part of the question. Okay? If you don't like the answer to the first question, do you trust these 10 guys to block these 11 so we can run QB sneak? Okay? Because we're in a situation where we're going to run QB sneak. They're gonna put bodies in the A gaps. They're gonna put a big nose tackle in. We're gonna be in. They're gonna be ready for it. Do you trust that? That we're gonna get yards. Okay, think about that. Don't think of the play. Don't think of the Philadelphia Eagles running this. Think Tanner Bortolini, Michael Furtney, Joe Huber, Riley Mullman, Jack Nelson. This isn't a fullback. Braylon Allen. Do you trust it? If your answer is yes, I think you're looking at the offense with rose-colored glasses. Which, hey, I like it. You're coming onto my side. You're seeing positives. Okay? Quite frankly, if I am calling plays with the personnel we got against the defense we got, I do not want to put myself in a situation where one-on-one matchups can not only determine the result of the play, but also completely change the outcome of the game going forward. So I don't like that situation. And because I don't like that situation, I want to get where I think my people are best in a situation like this. Put them in the best chance that I feel that I could put them to affect the outcome of the play positively. And we'll do that via formation. That's part 1. Part 2. Okay? So right there, I think we've already debunked the plus and the minuses, what we should be doing here. Okay? Part 2 of what I hear so much in this, and I talked about this in the Iowa breakdown as well. Going under center and running an ISO, he allows him to get more downhill. Okay? It allows him to get more downhill, and it's faster. Those are the 2 things I hear positively about under center. Okay, well, part 1. Does it go faster? No, because the snap still takes the time that it takes. You have to get away from the center. You have to turn around, and you have to come back to the running back. The running back has to come out of his stance. He needs to take his initial footwork, and he needs to go forward. Okay? He needs to get off the midline to create space for the quarterback to come back. He can't just go straight downhill. He has to get out of the way. Okay? Fullback needs to come out of his initial footwork, and he needs to attack where he needs to go. Okay? Fair enough. Quarterback needs to either reverse out and come back through here, or straight handoff, whatever. This takes time. It's not instantaneous. It takes time. And the quarterback has to take multiple steps to get the ball back to the running back. The running back has to take steps and meet the quarterback while they're both running, while the running back may be looking ahead to where he's running. Okay, so there's a lot of factors going into taking in a handoff under center. Okay, it's not just instantaneously ball goes from the center straight to the running back. There's so many steps involved. Okay, you put the quarterback right in here, a lot can happen. A lot. That doesn't even allow us to get to this point. And then from this point on, that's when the play starts. So we have to wait for the ball to get in the running back's hands. Okay? And how I have it set up here is a relatively accurate representation of where typical tailbacks are. They're in the 7 to 9 yard range, depending on how deep teams run their system. Okay? Typically around 7. Fullbacks around 4 or 3.5. Okay? So now let's look at this whole same situation in the gun, in a typical Wisconsin short area formation. So here we are in the exact formation and defense we saw on the 3rd and goal play at the end of the already, since I know the play call, this is exactly what I wanted to see, or what I would want to see if I'm calling the play that we call. Exactly. Exactly. And what we end up getting is one guy makes a play. But let's look at the defensive alignment first and how this changes. Okay? Because you are in a more spread out formation, and because you're working this condensed formation to the field, and you're working with the receiver split out wide on the backside, already you are forcing the defense to cover the entire end zone. You're severely limited when you come out in a power I formation to have to run play action or whatever to throw a pass or something on this. Base personnel forces the defense to play with base personnel, and it forces the defense to play this as if it was base personnel in any play that you would run with those people. There's lots of things that we could do with a formation like this. Rub routes, okay, screens, options, lots of things. That this defensive alignment reacting to this offensive alignment gives us. Again, this is why they called the play. The offense wanted to get this defensive set. And they're going to run shovel pass, a little shovel screen. Okay? And it's set up really, really well. Okay, and the idea is Joe Huber's going to pull around. And he's going to, that is my mouse, take it off on me. He's going to lead up in this kind of direction here. And we're going to get down blocks on everybody else. down block, down block, down block, pull check, working to the backer. Okay, pull check, pull check, pull check. Okay, lateral movement by the QB widens the path of anybody working from the second level. And we sneak the ball in behind. When you look at this and then you look how the defense reacts, okay? So they come out and this linebacker goes. And he does get a little bit of penetration, but not much. He goes. Okay? Tanner picks it up. Doesn't affect the play. But what ends up happening is this block right here, this nose tackle, gets through. And because this nose tackle gets through, is dead. Because this one guy gets through. But look at, like I showed you on the video, if we block this one guy right here, there's nothing but Braylon Allen walking into the end zone, and Braden gets a cheap touchdown pass. So, the long way around to get to the simple action is this play doesn't hit because we didn't go under center and ran 3 straight QB sneaks. If anything, play 1, we don't hit because guy puts his knee down. And the final play here doesn't hit because one guy misses his block. Has nothing to do with the play call. Has nothing to do with the formation. I'm sorry. But that's how it is. And it's not, and as a final thing here, it's not that simple to just say, oh, we should just go under center. If it's not what you do, it's not going to work the same as if it was your base idea. Works better. It works great for Ohio State. Fantastic. Good for them because they practice it. That's part of their base offense. It's not for us. And it's not for a lot of teams. Okay? And it's not a shortcoming of the offense. It's not a shortcoming of the formation. It is what it is. I can get the same results out of my shotgun formation condensed 2x2 here than you can going under center in your 23 personnel and running power. I think I can achieve the same results. More importantly, I can teach it to get those same results. And when you look at the film, guy missed a block. The same guy that you're expecting to control that nose tackle to run a QB sneak. So sometimes you got to think about it. All right, so that's a little one shot, both in a one shot here and a little bit of an editorial, a little bit of a rant. Okay, on this last scoring drive we had here before going into the half against Ohio State. Going into the half down 7 or 10-3 against Ohio State's not a bad situation. Could be a lot better. All right, so the rest of the Ohio State breakdown will be coming later this week, probably tomorrow, and maybe even get a little bit of the defense. So until then, see you next time.